Another bundle. I told you. You know, look.
Oh yeah, I saw that from inside. Oh yeah, it's a beauty.
What's up?
Yep. Oh yeah.
This is the C-Note automobile, the raffle car. The customer decided to do quarters because Raed knew it was a problem once we started to investigate all of the patch panels. This is the piece here where the plastic was, not the metal. You know, all of this is supposed to be one piece of, this is an outer wheel well, this is an inner wheel well. These wheel holes bring them together, that's an alignment hole. And they bring it together and they weld it, and that's what separates the inner wheel well, outer wheel well. We're definitely not supposed to have a cut here. So that tells us that this piece is off of another car. They cut the old one off, rotted, and then they just tack weld this piece in. Well, initially when they got it, the customer wanted his skirts to fit better. There was a problem with fitting it. This is why they didn't fit better, because they used the lip, which is what the skirt actually attaches to, from another car and just tack weld it in. They didn't do it the correct way and filled it with Bondo, so that's why the skirt never could fit 100% flush. So now that we got the quarter off, is a telltale sign. It's showing us a lot about the car. You can see this is the, if you remember from the other videos, this is considered the trunk floor drop down from this seam here all the way up. That's a trunk floor drop down piece. This meets the quarter panel. The quarter welds to the bottom of this lip, where you can see the drop down piece has corrosion here. That has to be addressed. Another thing about doing a quarter, there's a good chance if your quarter's bad, the wheel well is bad too. And when you do a full quarter, now it opens everything up to see. You're gonna notice what they did on that car. They did a half quarter, which is why they cut this piece off. They just put the bottom side off of another vehicle on. And they, you know, they tacked with it. They tried to make it look right, but the correct way to do it is to replace. First off, you need to remove all of the corrosion. Even this up here that haven't broke through, you need to get all of that surface rust off, and then just like Raed did, you can roll it back on the Alabama car. After he cleaned all of the metal, repaired all of the metal, then he etch and priming the metal to protect it from this in the future. Now your metal has a protective coating, so it doesn't, you know, develop surface rust in the future. So it's going to be better than what it was from the factory. But if you also notice all of the corrosion beyond the window, so now this window has to come out so he can clean all of that metal and prep it with etch and primer, exactly what he did to Alabama car. This car does have a little more corrosion in the Alabama car. Like Raed said, it was just more pieces of the lip, but the original lip was there. This one has a cut where it's added on from another car, so it's definitely not right. We have to, you know, get all of this right. But I think I have one of these here where maybe we can do it the right way, attempt what they were trying to do. But Raed can make it all. He already know the game plan. Even if we don't have the lip, we can do the quarter work, put the quarter on, and the quarter will tell us where all of this needs to be. He can make it to the shape of the quarter from scratch, even if we don't have it. It's a little more time consuming that way, but whatever we got to do to make it, you know, VTSV Auto approved, you know, Raed's going to do it. So if you look at the quarter, this is the back side of the quarter that came off. Not only is it's a half-inch thick because of all of the Bondo that they have, but you can see how they did it. They did a half a quarter off of another car. It wasn't an original quarter panel. Like when we buy a new quarter, this isn't a new quarter. This is a piece off of another car because you can see all of the corrosion that's on it. Then when they did tack weld it, this is the weld line where they welded this piece to this. This is the weld line that you see all the way going across here. That's where they welded in. So you can see the separation again. This is a separate piece that was welded on here. But if you remember the work that we did on Mr. Lofton's car, when Mr. Rich cut all of it back, welded it up, you know, that'll be kind of the right way to do it, but we wouldn't even do a quarter, we'll do a full quarter, because once if you do this half, you don't have the access to get all of the surface rust that's on the parts that need to be cleaned. So you do the full quarter where you can get access to everything, clean it, and then it's perfect, and you'll never have to worry about it again. You know what I mean? So, and they never took the old piece off. They never took the rotted piece off. It's still welded on. You could at least cut all of that back, because that's gonna contaminate this piece. Like, look how thick, all of that's Bondo.
Yeah.
Bondo, all that's Bondo.
Yeah.
You know, that's, it's a little bit more than a 1/4 inch, 5/16 thickness. And then, if you pick this up, like, we can get a workout with this piece.
Okay. Yeah, try to take it out there.
You know, this piece is heavy.
But yeah, what's up? Which is the weight, you know, you see, he's heavy, you know.
The good thing that they did do with this car, they did put a good floor and a trunk floor in. You know, so we got pieces to work with. There's a couple areas we're gonna tighten up when they put the floor in, but for the most part, that's done. We just gotta do the quarters and then, you know, do the body mounts. But I don't think we're not gonna do this car to the extent of Mr. Lofton. It's not gonna have to go sideways, because most of that stuff is done. Initially, when we first got it, before we took the cord off, we already noticed the areas of concern. You know, here, we knew here was full of Bondo, all of this, because that's why the skirt wouldn't line up perfect. It's closer, but it's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, we were telling the customer, hey, he was debating about doing the quarters because he wanted Rapido. You know, he felt like, you know, with the quarters, obviously it's gonna take a little more time, you know, to do the quarters, but he wanted it done. So we were debating whether or not we was gonna do the quarters, but I told him, I'm not gonna repair none of the stuff here, and the area here, because we're gonna charge you twice. We're gonna fix it, and then when you do the quarter the right way, it's gonna, you know, basically redo everything, because the full quarter's gonna, you know, cover that. So if you come on this side now, here was an area of concern. On the outside of the quarter, it was bubbling up here. So I explained to him that why would we fix that part there? We will wait until wherever we do the full quarter. We also told him about this area. If when he see this video, bro, you gonna remember when we saw that piece with the plastic? This was the plastic they were covering. They was covering it because it was whole. All of this supposed to be sealed metal, because you're gonna allow water to get in and create corrosion again on the new piece that you put on. You know, that undercoating ain't the best thing all the time. They be like, well, undercoating look clean. They use the undercoating to cover. They use this to cover the work. Well, from the untrained out here looking, it'll look, okay, it look clean. Until you really dissect it and see what really was going on behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Our customers come to us because they want us to do it the correct way. That's the number one thing they come to us about, because they can trust us to know it's going to be done correctly. The second thing they're probably worried about is the price point. But if you come when your number one concern is the price point, we're probably not the shop for you, because we're not doing it with a price conscious mindset. We're doing it to do it the correct way. And sometimes the correct way, when you build a house, when you build a business, when you build a relationship, sometimes it takes a little longer to do it the right way when you want something organic, something that's, my homeboy always would tell me, I want that genuine. You know, if you want it to be genuine, sometimes it takes a little longer than expected, but we're gonna get right on it. You can see the quarters already off. I just wanted to take the time to show you some of the things that, and this is, look at the car, it's a beautiful car. But this is what's behind all of the I call it the mani-pedi. This is behind all of the pretty polish that you can put on your, this is what's behind it. So you gotta get all of the fungi out of the toenail first, then do the mani-pedi. You know what I'm saying? VTSV Auto, we got a mani-pedi spa. So y'all stay tuned, man. We want to get it done. We got you covered. Mani-pedi.